Alright guys, so now we're going to set up Nginx, and this is going to be pretty easy. There's not too much to do here. So we want to create a project folder. So we want this etc Nginx sites available btre project. So we're going to do sudo nano and then that, okay, which is actually a file, and we want to add this stuff into it, okay, this whole server block. And basically what we're doing is we're listening on port 80. We want to put our IP address in here, so whatever your DigitalOcean droplet address is, you want to grab that. Okay, make sure you put your own. So I'm just gonna delete this and let's paste in that IP address, and then this is just the option to add a favicon if we want. This is going to load our static folder, and this is going to load our media folder, and then down here we're just proxying this unicorn.sock service. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this. So yes. Alright, now one thing I want to do is set the debug value that we have back to false, because remember we set it to true just to deal with the static assets with the regular Django server. So let's go ahead and say sudo. In the btre folder we want local underscore settings dot py. Oops, I forgot nano. Okay, we're going to set this debug value to false. And let's save this. Good. Okay, so let's go back to our document here. So we have this all in that file. Now we need to enable the file by linking the sites enabled directory. So we want to take our project and link this sites enabled. So I'm going to just grab this and paste it in. And mine, I'm going to get a file exists because I actually already did this off camera, but you shouldn't see this message. It'll just go down to the next line. So yeah, let's clear this. Let's see. So, we can check our Nginx installation or config. Oops, what did I do? Okay, so everything looks okay. Now we want to restart Nginx, so I'll just say sudo system ctl, and we want to restart Nginx. So now we have to set up our firewall. Now remember, earlier we allowed port 8000. We don't want that anymore. We don't want people to access port 8000 from the outside, but we do want people to access port 80, and we could just use this Nginx full. So we want to run both of these. Let's say sudo. We're going to take our firewall, so UFW, and we're going to delete the allow rule that we added for port 8000. Okay, and then at the same time we want to take our firewall, so UFW, and we want to allow, we can put a string in here of Nginx full, and it will know exactly what to add. So that's that. Next thing, we could probably run the server now, or the server is running, but we could probably visit the website and so on. But if we try to upload an image that's too big, we're going to get an error because we want to increase the client max body size within the Nginx cont file. So I'm going to just copy this. So we're going to go into that file. We're going to go down into the HTTP block, and we're just going to add, that client max body size. So client underscore max body size. We're going to set that to 20 meg, okay? And make sure you put a semicolon. And that should do it. So let's go ahead and Control X and save. And then we're going to restart Nginx. And we should be good, I believe. So let's go ahead and check it out. So we'll grab our IP address, no port 8000 this time. Nginx is running on port 80, so that's the default HTTP port. So I'm going to just go ahead and paste the IP address in. And there we go. Now, you're probably going to have the listings that you added earlier. I actually ended up deleting them earlier, and I would suggest you do the same. So go into /admin because you might have some issues with the media files. So, you know, go to listings, delete, go to realtors, delete them all. And also I'd suggest deleting the photos folder in the media folder. In the media, not and. So if we do an ls in our project, see how we have a media folder? And if we do an ls media, we have a photos. So what I would suggest doing is deleting the photos folder, because once you upload photos, it'll automatically create that directory. So let's say sudo rm, and then we want to add the -rf flag, okay, since there's actual content in the folder, and we're going to do media/photos. Okay, so now if I do an ls media, there's nothing in it. So we've cleared all the data, all of the photos, and now we'll go ahead and try to upload some stuff. All right, so let's go to realtors first. And I'm not going to add everything. I'm just going to add, you know, a couple realtors and a listing, and we'll test it out. So let's say name Kyle Brown. Let's choose images, realtors, Kyle. I'll say Kyle is a great guy. Let's choose a number here. Email. We'll make MVP and save. Good. Now let's go to the front end of the site. And if we go to about, there he is. Add Mark. Mark is also great. All right, cool. So now let's do a listing. So let's say Kyle, and let's do 45 Drivewood. Oops, we'll do 45 Drivewood Circle. This is a great house with a pool. We'll do 550. Bedrooms, -1. That's not going to work. 3, 2, 1, 3100. Doesn't matter what you put here. Okay, let's grab from the homes folder. I'm going to grab home 1. Inside. We'll just grab a couple and save. Okay, let's go home. There's our listing. There it is. And we have our smaller images. Awesome. So everything seems to be working here. So in the next video, what I want to do is connect this to a domain name, because obviously we don't want this as our address. Nobody's going to remember this. So we want to be able to go to btrealestate.co, and I actually registered that domain name for the purpose of this course. So we're going to get into that next.